Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good morning, BJ. How are you doing? How's that heart monitor doing? It is Wednesday, May 22nd, and this is Wednesday Weekly Check-in Chat, where we celebrate good news and positive things. Hi, Angela's Critters. Welcome in. I like to keep things positive. And I like to give everybody the opportunity to share any birthdays, anniversaries, new babies, uh, promotions, just anything positive. And one of the things that I am happy about or would like to share about is school is almost over. My daughter is a school teacher. She teaches third grade math and science. Howdy, Yoda. Um, and we watched our granddaughter, who is 2 3/4 now. She'll be 3 in August. And if school is in session, then we have our baby granddaughter. So we have today and tomorrow and Friday. And then she has a training class she has to attend Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. And then she will be finished until July 26th. So we will have from right at the end of May all the way to the end of July. So almost 2 full months that we will not have to watch the grandbaby every day during the week. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We leave our house by 5:45 and we drive to their house, which is 20 minutes away. We get the grandbaby by 6:30, and by 7 o'clock we're back home and we have her all the way until 4, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever time her mama gets finished. Don't get me wrong, we love our granddaughter tremendously, but we are old people and she wears us out. Another thing I'm happy about and happy to share is that the terrible cold that Dave and I have been suffering from for the past almost 3 weeks is finally breaking up and hopefully dissipating. I really think mine has just allergies right now. And so I am back on my allergy nasal spray, and we will see how that does, see if that helps. Um, Welcome, Southwest Living with Val. Angela, let me give you a blue dress so that you can mingle with everyone. There we go. Um, so I am really looking forward to maybe getting well. We get over these colds and hopefully nothing else hits us. Um, I have until June 17th with the boot for my Achilles tendon. Uh, After that, I'll start physical therapy, and my weight loss surgery will be sometime probably mid June, end of June, first part of July, and then I'll have a couple weeks recovery from that. But then after that, I really hope that we are going to be well and not injured, healed, not injured, not in any pain, and we will be getting on with our lives. Another good news, my daughter is moving. She is moving into a new into an apartment complex that has 2 playgrounds and 2 swimming pools and tennis courts and a workout area. Um, and so we're excited for her. We will be keeping the baby that way the weekend that they move, which is the I think the 15th of June. Um, so, of course, we will keep the baby that weekend so that they can get everything moved into the new place. I normally help move whenever she moves, but being that I have this boot on my foot, I probably won't be a whole lot of help. I'll go over after she gets moved and help her get unpacked and settled in as much as I can. Um, Another piece of good news, she will be having a yard sale and she will have us donate things for the yard sale. And so we will be able to clean out and get a little bit of clutter out of our home. Hello, Dagmar. Welcome in. How are things in Belgium? No, they're not. I hadn't seen a word about it in the chat. Okay. Um, oh, and Yoda. So, does anybody have a birthday, anniversary, promotion, anything like that to celebrate that they would like to share? Other than the fact that school's almost out for summer. So excited about that. All right. Well, while y'all think about that, I'm going to go ahead and read our um, selection today from Joyce Meyer's Confident Woman, and then we're going to play some trivia. I've got some old wives' tales, true and false questions. So that ought to be a little bit of fun for us. And the other big news was I had another weigh in and I lost 7.5 pounds this month. So I have lost a total of 11.5 pounds since I started going 2 months ago for my weight loss surgery visits, and I had lost 5 pounds prior to that. So I've actually lost 16.5 pounds in the past 3 months. So I'm very proud of myself and very happy that the weight is coming off, and if I can lose it a little along the way between now and the time that surgery happens, I know that um, I'll be successful with the weight loss surgery. Okay, here we go. It is called Know Your Heart. If anyone serves me, he must continue to follow me, to cleave steadfastly to me, conform wholly to my example in living, and if need be, in dying. And wherever I am, there will my servant be also. If anyone serves me, the Father will honor him. John 12:26. Anyone who tries to keep all the people happy all the time will never fulfill their destiny. Consider the story of the woman from California who kept two bottled water coolers in her kitchen. It wasn't because she was extra thirsty or on a health kick. It was because she couldn't say no to either water company when they called. She was afraid that the salesman would say bad things about her if she said no. Maybe you don't have problems saying no to telemarketers, but maybe you do struggle with saying no to your friends or your family or your church family, even at the detriment of what you feel God is calling you to do. People are not always happy for your success, and even well meaning people will try to stop you from making progress. You must know your own heart and what you believe you are supposed to be doing and do it. If you make a mistake, you will know it soon enough. Even when you do, don't be too proud to say I was wrong. And that was Confident Woman by Joyce Myers. It's a daily devotional book, and I really like the verses she has in that. I see some people popped in on me while I was reading. We have Spirit in the Sky Blue. Hello, my friend. How are you? And we also have Mark from Corner Clubhouse Cobalt. How are you doing today, sir? Let me write y'all down. Oops. And CCC. All right, let me look back in this chat because I may have missed some things. Let's see. Uh-oh. Yoda Papa Vintage Card said something he uh, took out, retracted. I don't know what that was. Okay. All right. So nobody had anything to celebrate, but that's okay. That is okay. I'm celebrating enough for everybody. Okay. Let me see. And I think I am caught up. All right. Great. All right. Let's do these. They were titled Old Wives' Tales, True or False Questions. Eating your bread crusts makes your hair go curly. True or false? Oh, you're getting used to your new glasses, BJ? You got the no line bifocal, right? Okay. Lots of people saying that is false, and that is correct. That is false. Heartburn during pregnancy. Your baby will be born with a lot of hair. True or false? They're progressives. Okay. Yes, we chopped my hair off. Um, I had been complaining about it getting so long and thin, and I was having to pull it back. And every time I took the rubber band or the hair bow out, it was pulling hair out. And my hair has gotten really thin all over my whole head. And sometimes with this surgery I'm going to have, you lose a lot of your hair too. So I figure I'm probably going to end up with a wig anyway. So it'll be okay. But they do say it grows back in. So maybe mine will get kick started and fill back in. Okay, heartburn during pregnancy. Your baby will be born with a lot of hair. That is actually true. However, our baby girl was born with a whole head full of hair, and my daughter did not have any heartburn at all. Angela Critter says, I had zero heartburn and both babies had full heads of hair. Yep. All right. Fish included in your diet is known as brain food. Fish included in your diet is known as brain food. True or false?
Are these wives' tales or wives?
Wives' tales. Well, Val from Southwest Living says it's true. And they said it was true also that it improves your memory. If you eat a lot of carrots, your skin can turn orange. True or false? If you eat a lot of carrots, your skin can turn orange. All right. Spirit in the Sky Blue, Val, and Yoda, all three say true, and it is true. All right. Rubbing a slice of onion on an insect bite can reduce the swelling and discomfort. True or false? Rubbing a slice of onion on an insect bite can reduce swelling and discomfort. True or false? All right, let's see. We had Yoda saying false. Spirit in the Sky Blue said true. Dagmar said false. And Val said false. It's actually true. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. True or false? Hi, Shantirement. Welcome in. All right. Yoda says false. Spirit and Val say it's true.
Who's
It,
Suba needs a dress.
yes. And it is actually true. Hi, Kristen. Welcome in. She has a dress.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
She's in black now.
She's in blue. Welcome, welcome. Suba, we are playing we are doing a little trivia, some old wives' tales. And give me just a second. Okay. Chicken soup can help cure a cold. True or false? Chicken soup can help cure a cold. Dagmar says true. Yoda says false. Val says true. BJ says true. And it is true. Hello, Austin Garrett. Welcome in. How are you today? Holding your wedding ring over your pregnant belly on a string can determine if you're having a girl, if it swings in circles. True or false? Well, I'm glad you're doing good, Austin. That's great. Hello, Lisa from Lisa's Journey. How are you doing today? And Lisa says that is true. It is actually false.
I'll disagree.
Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. True or false? Cracking your knuckles will give you arthritis. True or false? We have Yoda saying true, and we have Dagmar saying false, Lisa saying false, and Val saying true. And guess what? It's false. I always thought that was true. All right. The full moon can cause strange behavior. The full moon can cause strange behavior. That one we have Spirit in the Sky says true. Austin says false. BJ says true. Shantirement says true. And Val and Dagmar say true. And that one is true. And if you ask my daughter, who is a school teacher, if the kids act worse during a full moon, she will tell you 100% they do. All right, you can't go swimming after eating for 1 hour or you will sink to the bottom. True or false? You can't go swimming after eating for 1 hour or you will sink to the bottom. You don't sleep well when it's a full moon, Dagmar? All right. Well, we're kind of mixed on this one. We have some false, mostly false. Austin said true, and it is actually false. If you can't sleep, counting sheep will help you fall asleep. True or false? If you cannot sleep, counting sheep will help you fall asleep. True or false? Most everybody is saying true, with the exception of Yoda. He says false, and it was actually true. Drinking a glass of warm milk before bed can help you fall asleep. True or false? Drinking a glass of warm milk before bed can help you fall asleep. Again, a lot of truths, and Yoda comes in with false, and that one was also true. Sitting on cold cement causes hemorrhoids. True or false? Sitting on cold cement causes hemorrhoids. True or false? All right, that one we got mostly false, and it is false. Red sky in the morning, sailors be warned. True or false? Red sky in the morning, sailors be warned. True or false? There we go. True, 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 true. And that one is true. Sit too close to the TV will cause your eyes to cross or you will go blind. Sitting too close to the TV will cause your eyes to cross or you will go blind. Thank you, Austin. Austin gave me a super chat for $1. Thank you so much. That's one thing I did get to do this week. I did get to go ahead and set up my payment information and my tax information for the YouTube AdSense. I am at like $83 that I've earned. And as soon as I get that up to $100, I'll be able to get paid. So that'll make it $84, Austin. That's so great. Thank you very much. And that one sitting too close to the TV, that was false. Kissing toads and frogs give you warts. True or false? Kissing frogs and toads give you warts. Dagmar says false. Yoda says true. Lisa says false. That one is actually false. A floating egg in a pot of water means the egg is bad. True or false? A floating egg in a pot of water means the egg is bad. True or false? Yes, that's very true, Yoda. You have to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. All right, that was true about the egg. If you look at someone cross-eyed and the wind blows, you will stay that way. True or false? If you look at someone cross-eyed and the wind blows, you will stay that way. True or false? False, false, false. That one is false. All right. If you swallow chewing gum, it will stay in your stomach for 7 years. If you swallow chewing gum, it will stay in your stomach for 7 years. True or false? Well, we got 2 true, 3 trues, and 2 false. That one is also false. I hope y'all enjoyed those. I thought they were pretty funny. I can hear my mom saying just about every single one of those when I was a kid growing up. It's so funny how they, you know, can think some very strange things. So I write everybody's name down that comes in the chat so that I can try to do a shout out for you on my community wall. So that's why you see me looking over and writing as I'm doing it, because I'm trying to keep track of everybody, because I don't want to miss anybody. And I want to make sure that I am able to give everybody a shout out on my community wall. Now, if you've been watching my content, you may have noticed that my videos and shorts and lives have been slowing down. But that has been because of my injury of my Achilles tendon, and then also this terrible cold I'd had for almost 3 weeks. So today was the first day that I actually sat here at the computer and I actually started working on some more videos. Yay. So I have a couple I need to do voiceovers on, and then I have a few more I need to create. But I will be bringing you much more content, hopefully in June. I will probably try to do some things up ahead a little bit so that when I do have the surgery, if I don't feel like doing too much, I'll have some stuff already ready to go. How are my watch hours doing? My watch hours are at 34:47 this morning. So I need 500 and what is that? 553, about 550. What is happening now is that I have done enough content when I first started. When I first started the channel, that every day I have to have enough watch hours to not only cover the watch hours I already had, but to make more watch hours so that I can get back to 4,000. So right now, as it sits, I don't know if that's going to even happen. I am trying to get them up. A lot of people have been watching my videos and my playlists, and I appreciate that so much. I said last week that I was going to try to do some more lives. I tried on Sunday, and funny story, if any of y'all tuned in or watched any of those videos, first of all, I wanted to try to do a video on my phone and on my laptop simultaneously. I wanted to have the one on my phone just through YouTube in the vertical format, so it would be on the shorts. And then I wanted to do a regular one through StreamYard. And so I had the tripod set up and I had the phone set up and I was ready to do that. Well, our fire detector, decided to go crazy. And it was beeping and beeping and beeping, and not just a few beeps and then stop. It was continually beeping, and it was making different noises, like beeping out different sounds. And because of that, Chloe started barking like crazy. So I had the fire alarm going off and Chloe barking both on the streams. And I'm trying to mute every time it was going off. And it would stop, and I'd be like, okay, that's good. It stopped. I can talk. And I would start up again, and then it would go off on me again. And it would just keep on and keep on and keep on. So I finally had to shut the lives down, and it was bothering Dave so much. He had already went out and was sitting in the car, and you could still hear it outside very loud too. So the maintenance number, when you call, it's supposed to be either you don't have a bathroom, you don't have air conditioning, or you have a flood. Those are the only things they consider an emergency on the weekend. And so I called the regular office number, and you can hear the alarm beeping in the background while I'm talking on the message. I called that, and then I also turned around and I called the emergency line anyway, even though it wasn't technically one of those emergencies. But anyway, like I said, Dave was already out in the car. So Dave had come back in and he was like, did it stop? And I'm like, it stops and it starts. It stops and it starts. So it stayed off for about an hour, and then it started up again. And I said, that's it. We're leaving. So we got in the car and we went to Walmart and did some shopping. We come home, and when we pull in the parking lot, we can hear it going off, and we can hear Chloe barking too. So we finally just had to deal with it. And Dave looked up on Google, and it said to hold the button in for 15 seconds. And so we did that a couple of times, and then finally something worked because it shut off. Well, David even flipped all the breakers off, thinking it was, something with that. We were not cooking. We did not have the dryer going. We didn't have any reason for the smoke alarm to be going off, but it was crazy. So anyway, it finally stopped. So we
said it wouldn't bother him.
Yeah, well, because funny BJ. But so we finally got it quiet, and we finally were able to go to sleep. And so early the next morning, here comes our maintenance man. And I bet they got a kick out of the message with the alarm going off in the background. But anyway, he took and replaced both the backup batteries. The alarms themselves are hardwired into the ceiling. And so he just had to unscrew the cover and change the battery. But of course, we didn't know what kind of battery. We didn't have a way to get up there to the ceiling in either. So he was able to get it fixed and we got it taken care of. But anyway, so that was my Sunday. So the time that I had that I could have done a live was wasted listening to an alarm going off. So I do apologize that I wasn't able to get back on and do one.
Tell them about your interesting incident in the parking lot yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So since I've been injured, I've been using my rollator, they call it, which is a walker with wheels, and it has a seat on it where you can sit. And so whenever I go somewhere that I'm going to be doing walking, like they don't have shopping carts there or whatever, I take the rollator with me. And so I can use it, to walk. Well, I had my doctor's appointment, my weigh-in yesterday. And so we loaded up the baby. We loaded up my rollator. We went to the doctor's appointment. Well, we get back and the grandbaby has decided that that's like the fun thing to do is ride on Granny's rollator. So because it has the seat there, she just thinks, she ought to be able to sit there and get a ride. So I put her on it and I get all the bags because we had went to Goodwill and done some other shopping and stuff. I get all the bags. I put them on the handlebars of the rollator. I got her in the seat. And we only have 2 handicap ramps. Excuse me. That's a spam. We have 2 handicap accessible ramps because we have a big curb, which is what I fell off of and hurt my Achilles tendon on. So anyway, you have to go. I can park it in front of my apartment, but then I have to walk to one of the ramps on either side at the other ends of the parking lot, come up the ramp, and then come up the sidewalk. So anyway, I took her on the ride. We go down to the end, and some idiot had backed into the handicap ramp so that you could not get up the handicap ramp. And there's 2 handicap parking spots, and they weren't in either handicap parking spot, and there was a spot available. And if they had parked correctly, then we would have been able to come up the ramp. But they were backed in, and their license plate did not have a handicap thing. Yes, Lisa, I did cut my hair. It was driving me crazy. It was getting so thin and so knotted up that every day was a struggle with it. So we chopped it off, and now I don't have to worry about putting it up, and so it's not getting tangled. But anyway, so I had to get the grandbaby off the rollator, lift the rollator up onto the step, then lift myself up onto the step, and then get her back on the rollator. So by the time I got back in the apartment, I was a little hot, a little upset. So I call our apartment manager. They don't answer the phone. I have to leave a message. So I tell them that I don't know if I should call the police, if they need to handle it or what, but I'm very upset that that handicap ramp is being blocked. So after I didn't get a hold of them, I decided, well, I'm going to call the police department. Now, we live in a 1 stoplight town. So we probably have 1 police car patrolling at a time, on a shift. So, hello, Crystal's Place. So anyway, I called the non-emergency number and I explained to the gentleman, what my problem was and everything. And he said, okay, it's probably private property and it's probably up to the apartment manager, but I will go ahead and send the officer out and that you can talk to the officer. So I said, okay. So I go outside and wait on the porch. Here comes the police. Talk to them. They look at it. Sure enough, the person had the handicap placard in the front, hanging off the rearview mirror that I didn't see. But
They went out there and put it in there.
they might have, but they definitely were parked wrong. But because it was private property, they would not give them a ticket. And they said that I had to contact the office manager, and that if the office manager could determine if it was a resident or not, they could have the car towed. Well, of course, my office manager still has not called me back. I took pictures of the car and the license plate so that I could tell her, who it was and what it was. Still haven't heard from them. However, after I had went down there and after the police left, guess what? They moved the vehicle over to on the side and parked. So whoever it was obviously just dropping something off, maybe moving something, and they wanted to be up close to the sidewalk to be able to get it out of their vehicle, maybe. But how inconsiderate for those of us who are handicapped and who needed to use that ramp. No, it wasn't the office manager. But I'm very disillusioned. Since I have been laid up with this Achilles tendon tear, I am realizing just how unfriendly places are for handicapped people and people with disabilities. And it is really, really making me mad. BJ, I agree. But if you're not all the time handicapped and all the time needing that accessibility, you don't think about it. And then when you,
Handicap seating in restaurants drives me crazy also.
yeah, they don't have handicapped seating in restaurants. Um, and they act like you're crazy if you're a larger person and you can't fit behind in a booth because it's too tight. And they act like you're crazy when you ask for a table instead of a booth. So there's discrimination there. I feel like there is discrimination against handicapped disability people with disabilities and people who are overweight. Now, just because right now I'm in both of those categories, you know, it's I'm aware of it. It is something that has been brought to my attention. And I really think it's a shame, a crying shame. You're right. It is against the Americans with Disabilities Act, BJ. And the thing about it is, where did we go? Oh, we went to Tallahassee to meet with my sister and my brother-in-law for dinner at a hotel they were staying at. And it was a very, very fancy restaurant. I mean, their entrees on the menu started at like $60 a piece and went up. It was Don Schuler's restaurant. Anyway, he's a famous sports person. But anyway, the entrees were like starting at $60 and going all the way up to like $150. So this was not a cheap place. Do you know that they did not have a handicapped accessible way into that restaurant? You had to go down about 5 or 6 steps to get into the restaurant, into the seating area. Then they did not have a bathroom within the confines of that restaurant. You had to go back up those steps and you had to go out into the lobby of the hotel and across the lobby to go to a restroom. I was very, very unhappy because here I am. That was right after my injury happened. And so I was really hobbling. And here I am with my rollator again, trying to go to enjoy myself, seeing my sister who I hadn't seen in quite some time. She had never met my grandbaby. She'd never met Dave before. So it was really, a necessary trip for us. We really looked forward to it and wanted to go. But it was disheartening But I did it. I climbed up and down those steps. I had somebody carry the rollator up to the top for me. I made it to the restroom and back. I did what I had to do because I didn't want to miss that experience. But what if I wasn't able to? What if it was somebody in a wheelchair who could not get up and walk up and down those steps? Just how did they get away with that? How did they get away with not having handicapped access? Where was it, Dave, that I also went and they didn't have handicap and I had to somewhere here I went to go shopping or something. I don't remember. But anyway, it has really made me aware of the fact that, and other people who aren't disabled or handicapped, they just don't realize what people go through. So if you think about parking in a handicap parking spot or blocking the van access to the handicap parking spot, that people, when they are in a wheelchair and they have the lift, they need that extra room to be able to get into their vehicle. So think about those things and be a little bit considerate because other people um, might not be able to do it. Thank you, Angela. Thank you for coming. I enjoyed having you today. Um, but Dave and I also were talking last night. Okay, Dagmar, have a good day. Good night, I guess. It's late for Dagmar. Val said my dad was in a wheelchair for a while before he passed. I know exactly what they go through. Luckily, I was a strong person. Yes.
What about it being in France, not being?
Yeah, that's what I was just fixing to talk about. Um, we have the trip planned to go to Paris, France, and in 2025. And, we're going to be getting ourselves in the whatever best shape we can get in, to go. But Dave has been doing a lot of research about things in Paris and tourist attractions and, just in general how life is over there. And it is not a handicap friendly place. They don't have elevators. They don't have ramps. They don't have wheelchairs. They don't have, like when you go in a store, they don't have the electric carts. Um, None of that. And so, that's my dream to go to Paris. But like I told Dave yesterday, dreams change. And if it's, going to be unaccessible for us to be able to go, then we won't go. Of course, we'll do something else that is handicap accessible. But I hope I don't have to cancel my plans. I hope I get to go to Paris. But there, do what?
Looking at the last comment.
Oh, Paris, Texas. I don't know. But I want to travel. I do want to travel. I planned for 2025 because the grandbaby will start pre-K that year. She will be going to school with her mama, and her mama will have her after school. So we won't be confined to having to be here to watch her. Um, and we'll be able to have free time and go and do things and travel. So that's why planned it for that particular year because I had made the commitment of watching the grandbaby until then. Um, hey, Miss Slim Twiggy, how are you? Let me write you down, my friend. We're just talking about the lack of handicap accessibility in places. It's really disheartening. It really is. People just don't care about elderly people or handicapped people. Okay. Bye, Yoda. You were in the garden. Uh, Is your garden growing good? I hope that it is. I really need to get out there on my patio. I still have the dead plants from what got frostbit this past winter. I need to get out there and I need to get rid of all of that so I can clean my patio up and I can get some new plants. I've got a bar full of plants here inside the house. Oh, your flower bed, putting down mulch. Okay. There you go. Living in an apartment, I just have the patio. And I had it, of course, decorated for the Paris theme with the little wrought iron chairs and table and the little, red and white striped seats on the chairs and everything. Had it real cute. And now that Dave is here, Dave would kind of like to be able to sit out on the porch. So we may be getting rid of some of that stuff and getting some chairs out there where we could actually sit outside and enjoy the patio. Although
Thank you, honey.
although our view will be the parking lot, won't be that great of a
I want to put a TV out there.
Oh my gosh. I'll be watching TV outside.
Mm-hmm.
You don't watch TV now.
I don't watch it out there.
Oh no, you wouldn't. Take your tablet out there. I know.
Friendly TV, $7.99 a month.
That's right, Friendly TV. So anyway, what else is going on? Anybody got any lives or premieres or anything fun and exciting coming out?
I got a New Jersey in.
Yeah, Dave found a really cool, and would that be a football jersey?
Yes, it's a vintage.
A vintage football jersey, white with green. He loves green,
Philadelphia Eagles.
It's a Philadelphia Eagles, number 12.
Randall Cunningham.
Cunningham. And so he's going to get some embellishments to put on it, I guess you'd say. BJ had a premiere yesterday, and Slim Twiggy put out a video today on blackberry syrup. That sounds interesting. All right, so
in the jar.
so if y'all haven't watched those, go over and give them some watch time. I myself did not get to watch much of anything yesterday. The grandbaby was wired after our traveling around yesterday. And then when my daughter got here, we ended up going out to dinner. And my granddaughter was really wild in the restaurant. And yeah, Dave couldn't even eat his food. It was burnt. And it just was not really a good experience. But anyway, we are tired. We're tired last night. And we both just kind of sat there in our chairs and didn't really do a whole lot. So let's see. What do I know that I haven't already told y'all? Oh, okay. I continue on my diet like I've been doing between now and whenever I get my surgery date. Then I'll have to do 2 weeks of a fat shrinking diet before the surgery. And the 2 days before the surgery, I have to do just clear liquids.
Liver shrinking diet.
What did I say?
Stomach.
Did I say stomach shrinking? I meant liver shrinking. Anyway, liver shrinking diet, which will be high protein, low carb, and low fat. Basically 2 protein shakes, and then I can have lean meat and vegetables for dinner. But for breakfast and lunch, have the protein shakes, and then I can drink all the water I want. I can have sugar-free Jell-O. I can have any broth that I want. I can have sugar-free popsicles. So that's going to be exciting. And probably I will be ready to eat anything. Avocados are good for that. Okay. So excuse me, I've got that to look forward to. I am waiting on the doctor's office to call me back about whether or not they got my cardiac clearance. And if they did, then they're going to try to get me in as quick as possible to see my primary care physician, get her to sign off on the clearance so that I can go ahead and get in to see the surgeon and get my surgery date and get it approved by the insurance and everything. And then I'll be good to go. So I've really done all the tests and all the visits and everything that I had to do. And so now I just really have to stay on the diet, try to lose some more weight. Um, like I said, I lost 4 pounds the first month. I lost 7.5 pounds the second month. So even if I could do, 6 pounds the next month, I would be happy with that. And they would prefer you get your protein from, food sources, not necessarily the protein shakes, except for during that last 2 weeks. So between now and then, I'll probably be doing how had been doing, which was like having eggs or yogurt for breakfast, having a big salad with chicken in it for lunch, and then either having another protein and some vegetables for dinner. Sometimes I would just have something like that for lunch and have the big salad at night. But I really haven't been eating that much, so I'm glad that I did lose weight because I would have been very discouraged if I hadn't lost any weight. But now I do put cottage cheese in my salad and sometimes hard boiled eggs if I've made any, and then the chicken, cooked chicken as well. So it is a pretty um, high protein salad, even though it's a salad. Stay away white flour products, cheese, etc. Well, I'm trying to stay away from the carbs that are in rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, also corn, and I'm also staying away from dairy mostly, except for the high protein yogurts. Um, and I can have a little bit of like shredded cheddar cheese. But as far as actual milk, I'm not doing milk. They say milk has too much sugar in it. So if I do want to do milk, I can get almond milk or soy milk, something like that. Which to me, if I'm not eating, the stuff, the cookies and cakes and things that you would drink milk with, I don't really need it. Yeah, whole wheat is better now, and they're coming out with a lot of protein products with more protein in them. I was looking at a site on Facebook, and they have pasta now made out of chickpeas, made out of lentils, and made out of other bean sources and things like that. So you can have that kind of pasta. But they also have just protein pasta. Um, but they're making a lot of things with higher protein amounts in them. And then you can make a protein pudding. You can take a protein shake and you take the sugar-free Jello pudding mix, and you put the pudding mix and the protein shake in there for the liquid, and then you can also use sugar-free Cool Whip on it. You can do tofu. Echo, you're going to be just fine. I know it. Your mind is set to get healthy. Oh, definitely, definitely. And that was another thing. I'm on a site on Facebook that is for bariatric patients and people who have already had surgery and people who are going to be having surgery. And they were talking yesterday how unbelievable it is that people go through all that you have to go through to get the surgery, go through the recovery of the surgery, go from eating, just drinking clear liquids to full liquids to pureed food to soft food to right back to regular food. And some people still, after 2 or 3 years, can't eat a steak or anything like that. So you go through all of that to lose the weight. And then once you've lost the weight, they don't give up in the middle of losing the weight. They wait until they're down to their goal weight and they've lost 150 pounds. And then all of a sudden they get off the program. They stop eating healthy and they start putting weight back on. One lady was saying how she was a bad diabetic like me, lost all the weight, ended up not being diabetic anymore. Now she's put 60 pounds back on. Now she's approaching being diabetic again. She she has a whole family history of a lot of people having diabetes. So hers is a lot genetic. But still, if you knew that, like with me, that's my main focus for having the surgery is to get healthy and to extend my life. So, I want to have a good quality of life in my older years. And I want to do away with some of these health problems that I have because of the weight. And I don't know how many of you have watched my earlier videos and know that, what was wrong with me as a kid and why I ended up gaining all the weight and becoming diabetic. But I do have some medical issues that caused all of that. Yes, I do like to eat. Yes, my family did reward with food. And yes, I did live in a household where you had to clean your plate. So, oh, hi, Life in the Piedmont Homestead. How are you doing? So a lot of those things, all contribute to being overweight. But I didn't just be a thin person and set out one day and say, hey, I think I'll gain 150 pounds. No, that's not what happened with me. I know that happens with some people, but I've never been thin. I can remember when I was in first grade, I was a pretty normal sized kid. But it seems like in second grade, I started gaining weight and I slowly gained weight all the way through adulthood. So if I was to lose 100 pounds, there's going to be things that I'm going to be able to do that I've never done in my life. And I'm going to be able to feel what it feels like to be a normal weight. I've never felt that. I've always had extra weight to carry. So I just can't imagine. Hi, Norma Kay. I just can't imagine the relief off my back and my hips and my knees, how that's going to feel without carrying all this extra weight. But there's no way. If I go through and I have the surgery and I lose the weight, there is no way I would ever go back to eating the way I've ate before and end up gaining it all back. And that's not to say that I'll never be able to enjoy food again. I will be able to have my favorite things only in very small amounts. And I will have to make sure that I keep my activity level up and that I do, what I'm supposed to do with my water and eating high protein and all of that. And I don't think I'm going to have any problem with it at all. I really want to be around to see Anna East grow up. And she's going to be 3. So I was thinking about that today while I was driving over to pick her up. She'll have till she's 18 probably before she finishes high school. That's 15 more years. I'm 61. That would make me 76. So I don't know if this body is going to, handle that. But my new improved body is going to handle it. And your body is resilient and resourceful. And as long as you give it the right nutrients that it needs to burn as fuel and you use your muscles, you can stay healthy and you can keep your body in a younger state. And I'm not ate up with arthritis yet. I've got arthritis in my um, in my one thumb joint here, and that's about it. I really don't feel it anywhere else. I do have a bad back. I've had surgery on my back. So I know the weight coming off that is going to help a lot. Um, but anyway, I would encourage anybody. I know Val does the carnivore diet and has had good success with that. And that's basically, that's high fat and high protein, but very low carb because really no carb. Um, that she's had good success with that. If you're interested, get a hold of Val at Southwest Living. She can tell you all about it. She can give you, doctors and, websites to look at and things like that. She can tell you her story, how it's changed her life. And I will be documenting my story, my weight loss journey. Um, because I really want people to know it doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I should have done this when I was 40 instead of waiting until I was 60. But the Echo at 40 didn't care about herself like the Echo cares about herself now. I'm talking about myself in third person. um, but I love myself enough to want to do this for myself. Let's see. Val says, I eat a few carbs. She makes homemade tortillas. BJ says, I've lost 150 pounds and I'm trying to gain some of it back. It's hard to do when you're diabetic. That's so true. And Life in the Piedmont says, Go Low does work. I have used that and was shocked. Okay, I've never heard of Go Low. But if you're interested and want information on that, I'm sure Life in the Piedmont could hook you up. The main thing is we're not getting any younger, folks. We need to figure out what it is we need to do to find our fountain of youth and to keep ourselves, as young and healthy and vibrant as we can be. I don't think any of us are ready to go or ready to leave our families, our loved ones. So we've got to make our bodies, be able to hold up and be able to survive what's going to happen in this world. Okay, the Go Low, she says it costs $47 a month. Are you worth $47 a month? Ask yourself that question. That's me. When I found out about the weight loss surgery and they said approximately going to cost you $1,500 outside of insurance. And I said, okay. Did I have $1,500 laying around to do that? No. I've had to save money every month. And I've had to, get myself prepared to be able to live on less so that I'm able to do it. BJ said, Go Low must be an American thing. I'm not sure what it is either, BJ. But yeah, you got to love yourself enough to invest in your future. I lived my whole married life taking care of my husband, my home, and my daughter. I took better care of my pets than I took of myself, and that's sad to say. But that's, I was raised, I'm a nurturer. I was raised to be a mother and a wife and take care of everybody else. And if I didn't take care of me, well, it was all right. But now, I'm going to take care of me because I'm the only one that will take care of me. So I promised myself that I will do everything in my power to live as long as I possibly can. I've told my daughter I don't want to be a burden. If my mind goes and I'm, crazy or I, have dementia or Alzheimer's, put me in a home or something. But as long as my mind is good and my body's hanging in there, then I want to be independent. I want to live on my own and do my own thing. Okay. Life in the Piedmont's going to find out more about if they have it in Canada or can get it in Canada. And that's another thing. All of this, you know, high protein food and the bariatric vitamins they want you to take and all this stuff, you really have to do your research and find out where you can get this stuff because diet industry is a big industry. And anything, just like anything that says baby on it is expensive. Anything that is diet, it's expensive. Um, so, I'm just an average person living on a fixed income. I won't be able to afford all of the fancy products and things that other people, can go out and get. But I will find out the most important things and make sure that I have those. Um, I want to make sure that I have the proper tools in my kitchen that I'll need to prepare my food. I also want to make sure that I have everything, uh, do everything that I can to make this successful. Now, on that um, support group, somebody else was talking about, oh, they don't like baggy clothes. And so every time they lost a little bit of weight, they'd go buy new clothes. And then they'd lose a little more weight. And then they'd have to go buy more new clothes. And then, and all that. I'm like, hey, I don't care. Things can be a little loose. I can get a belt if I have to. There are things you can do to get by. I am not going to be buying a whole wardrobe of clothes until I am pretty much at my goal weight. I will buy the essentials and I'll, make sure that I have what I need. But just to go out and spend money because you've lost 20 pounds, I'm not going to do that. Lisa's Journey says, right, Echo, I need to get back on track with trying to lose weight. I do good and fall back off. I know I can do it if I just stick to it, be consistent. It's just a mind over matter. That's what it is. It's the mind game, the mindset. If you set your mind that you're going to achieve it and do it, you'll be able to do it because you're still the person putting that food in your mouth. Nobody is going to be there twisting your arm saying, eat this, don't eat that. You eat what you put in your mouth. And you're also the person that goes and buys your food, makes the decisions where you eat out at, or where you go through and pick up food from, or where you buy your groceries and you cook at home. You are in charge of all of that. And you can make the right choices, buy the right things. You don't have to live blindly, like, oh, I can't do anything for myself. I have to just take what comes my way. No, you don't. Be your own advocate. Stand up for yourself. Life in the Piedmont says, BJ, US and Canada, they also have a support group on Facebook that is awesome. www.golo.com. Well, Life in the Piedmont, thank you so much for putting that information out. I don't know the right way or the only way. There's not just one way. Everybody is different. Everybody needs to find what works for them and do what they can. So whether it's weight loss surgery like I'm doing, or go low, or carnivore diet, or keto, or whatever, find out what works for you and then see how you feel when you're doing it. That's another thing they talked about on the support group. Once you start losing the weight and you get some energy and you start feeling good, how could you then sabotage that? I don't get that one. I want the energy and the to be able to feel good so bad that I'd about do anything to get it. I mean, I am doing just about anything. I'm having most of my stomach cut away, but it's only a tool and it's only going to work as well as I work the program. If I don't drink my water and I don't eat my protein and I don't exercise and move my body, it's not going to work. But I want to be a help to other people. I want to be able to encourage people. I want to be positive and be a place where people can come and we can talk about anything that we need to do to make our lives better. You know, happiness is a choice. All of us can live our best life at any age and be happy with our own lives, no matter our circumstances. Or we can be miserable and it takes just about the same amount of energy. So, there's um, more than one way to look at a situation, and there's always multiple answers. You just have to figure out what's the right answer for you. And I know if you're, living on your own or you don't have a good support system, I know that people get lonely, people get depressed. But hey, my email is on my about page. Reach out to me. I will give you my phone number. We can text, we can talk on the phone, we can email back and forth. I will support anybody trying to improve their life. All right. Life in the Piedmont says, I'm sorry I have to run, taking my student home. Wish I could stay and chat more. If anyone has questions about GOLO, I'm here. It's my own testimony. Blessings all. Hi, the Bud Files. Well, thank you, Life in the Piedmont. That is very, very nice of you. And you are more than welcome here anytime. I'm sure there's all kinds of tools out there. Ask your family doctor. See what they can do for you. Like my insurance company provides a free gym membership. That's a savings. I have mine at the YMCA, where I can also go swimming because I love swimming. And so you have the use of the gym facilities. They have a hot tub. They have a sauna. They have a steam room. They have the swimming pool. It's all very nice, and it's very. Um, you feel very good after you go and you pamper yourself like that, and you take the time to spend not only with yourself but doing something good for yourself. It really does make life a lot better. Up until I hurt my toes a year ago, I was swimming all the time. I even went in the winter months when they have a big dome tent thing that covers the um, the pool and the heat, under that dome. Um, Only thing is you freeze going from the building out to the pool, but it was still very enjoyable. I still had a good time, and I loved getting in the hot tub. But I'm proud to say my toes are both healed up now. I no longer have sores on my toes from my diabetes. I will be very careful with my feet from here on out. I will pamper them. Oh, that's what the other thing was. I wanted Dave swim shoes. Yeah, I was making a list of things that I need to get, and I was like, we were just talking about it, and there was one thing I said I have to get, and I could not think of what it was, and that just came to me: swim shoes.
Wow.
So anyway, we're going on an hour and 19 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and sharing this time with us today. I hope that you're leaving here a little bit uplifted, a little bit with a smile on your face, knowing that life can be happy and you can choose to be happy.
I love you, Echo.
I love you, Dave. So, everybody, have a great rest of your week. I will do my best to do some pop up lives. Hopefully, I won't have the smoke alarm problem again. And we'll see you then. Bye now.